Resident Evil 4 is a game that I really struggled to like at first. In a franchise that I absolutely love and adore from everything that I've played so far. But in the end, I ended up loving it just as much as I have every other Resident Evil, and that is because it's a masterpiece. It just takes a little bit to get there if you're not used to this style of Resident Evil, the action style of Resident Evil. So I'm going to get into my thoughts on that. I hope you guys are doing good today. Let's jump into it. So first off, a little backstory here. I started off with Resident Evil 7 Biohazard after always hating horror movies, horror games, horror books, anything horror related I did not affiliate myself with until I tried Biohazard. Absolutely fell in love with it. I love horror now. My expectations for horror for the rest of the franchise were set extremely high. Nothing's been able to match that yet. I'm assuming that is just the scariest Resident Evil. We'll find out as we continue our journey. But yeah, that's kind of my backstory on that and where I started. So all of the Resident Evil games have some action in them, but I'm going to be honest. And this may be a hot take. You can feel free to disagree with me in the comments. But the first hours of Resident Evil 4 kind of just feels like COD Zombies. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I know the OG come first, and I don't know how different the gameplay is in the OG compared to the remake, but it just wasn't that entertaining to me. It felt like it lacked a purpose at first. Of course, the combat was fun. The guns felt nice. The kicks, suplexes, always fun. By the end of the game, you're still not tired of those. It's a good time. But it didn't feel like there was any urgency or like it was a life or death situation. I didn't find myself struggling even with the early bosses. I didn't find myself really out of ammo. It just kind of felt like COD Zombies, man. I was just running, getting a big train going, blowing some shit up, meleeing some dudes. I mean, you know, it was just full action. And then later in the game, and this is when the game really started to click for me, we have a section when Leon is trapped. This is in Salazar's castle. Leon's trapped, and you're playing as Ashley. It's dark. You have no form of self-defense. You have a lantern that thankfully scares away the big goopy armor guy, monster guys, and that was the first moment in the game where I felt some true intensity, where things felt, you know, you kind of tightened up a little bit. You're like, okay, this is a little spooky. That's what really got me hooked, and from that point forward, I couldn't stop playing. I don't know why, but that first little hint of horror gave the rest of the game a sense of urgency for me, a sense of, you know, you don't know when it's going to get scary. I think by that point I had kind of decided that nothing was going to be scary, that nothing was going to be horror. It was just going to be a full-on action game. But once we got to that point, I think it kind of refreshed it in my mind. Hey, this is Resident Evil. It could happen at any moment. And that also, slowing the game down there, really taking your time through that, creeping around the corners, that gives you more of a appreciation for the fast-paced, chaotic combat when you get back to it. It's a nice switch, and that helped me a lot when it come to liking the game, and I guess the game clicking for me. And then from that point on, it's just nonstop. We go in, continuing the story with Ada back and forth. We have the big ordeal with Luis. Spoiler ahead. Luis dies. You just boo-hooing, dog. It's my dude, Luis, you know? We have the mine carts with him. Shit was sick. That was my favorite sequence in the game. You're going around the rails, high speed, fixing to come off the track in the cart. You get it back down, you look over. There's one of the dudes with the chainsaw and the bag over his head, just fucking looking at you, and another mine cart on an adjacent rail. It's just nuts. I'm sure I'll have that on screen. I made sure we had footage of that. There were plenty of great boss fights. I really did enjoy the one in the water in the boat, even though it felt like no challenge at all. I just thought it was pretty cool set piece wise. The two giants boss fight, really fun. Final boss fight, really fun with Salazar. Everything toward the end was chaos. They set up the DLC good with Ada. We may do a video on that separately. We'll see depending on how the schedule goes. Overall, I think Resident Evil 4 is... This is a hot take. Take this as someone that's more into the horror than they are the action Resident Evil. I think it's third for me. I think it's third. It's still top 3, but I think it might be third. I think it would go Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 7, and then 4. I know that's going to grind a lot of gears, and I apologize in advance. I am new to this community. Don't kill me. I hope we're all good. Hope there's no beef. We're all homies. Resident Evil's great. I just have it in a different order. But yeah, so I'll go ahead and say Resident Evil 4 is a must play. It's a masterpiece. The whole franchise is a masterpiece. If you've never checked them out, be sure to do so. I started with 7. Really, I think you can probably start with any of them that I've played so far. I don't see why not. You would just have to kind of fill in the story for yourself here and there. Go back and make some connections, but it's never too late to start a really long franchise, and the rumors are hot for the next one. I'm really excited for that, and we're going to be on top of that as soon as it comes out. But thank you guys for watching. While I've got you here, I want to point you over to my Let's Play channel if you want to watch these videos raw while I'm in the process of making these reviews. Just watch me playing throughout the game. I do record that and upload it. That channel will be linked below along with my Twitch and Twitter. And I'm also going to have a GoFundMe link below. I'm not going to get too into it. I'm having a really hard time with some things right now, and you can read some more about that on the GoFundMe page if you would like to check it out and maybe share it. So thank you guys for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you enjoyed. Leave a like, leave a dislike. Let me know how you're feeling. Comment down below if you disagree, if these are just dog shit takes. Let me know. I understand. Sometimes I'm stupid. So... yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Alright, so I just wanted to record another little thing, let you guys know before we get too far into the video. I lost most of the footage for this. This is not my normal style of review. If you want to see what I normally would bring to the table, go check out the Resident Evil 2 or the Resident Evil Village reviews. I lost all of the footage prior to chapter 9 or 10, I think. So... it was kind of hard to do my regular review through that I do, so this was just kind of freestyle, just kind of rambling. I just wanted to put my thoughts out there because the game's too good to not talk about, and we've kind of got this theme going of playing the Resident Evil games right now, so I didn't want to skip it out. Yeah, so it's unfortunate. We'll be back to the review throughs next video, which should be Silent Hill 2 Remake. That will be back to a review through. And yeah, appreciate you guys for understanding that.